Welcome to the first episode of Whiskey Weenies Wednesdays. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Chad Robinson.
What's up?
Andrew Anderson, also known as Double A.
Yo, what's up?
And well, I'm just myself here.
Mr. Ron Quinn.
Yep, Ryan Quinn, lowly old me. All right, man, let's pop it off, man. We got a big show planned ahead, and we're gonna have Peter Mazzucco on here this evening. Wonderful guy, awesome guy. He's a talented actor. Can't wait to hear what he's got to say. And we're gonna talk some sports starting out. So, Andy, let's start with your fucking Squealers.
Yeah.
Squirrels.
Didn't they play somebody?
They played somebody.
They played somebody.
Somebody beat them.
I think.
All right, come on
I
now.
think it was somebody.
Come on now.
Who was it?
They
Come
used to have
on.
Tom
I
Brady.
didn't get to see the whole entire game, but I did got the stats of some things what happened.
I would hope you would at least have stats, because I mean,
Well, why didn't you get to see the whole game for one?
For my
he's got to work.
fucking fell
Somebody's got to fucking
I
work.
fucking fell asleep
Or
and
he was sleeping.
yeah.
Or he
Oh,
was
I thought
fucking
you
asleep.
said it was because of your dad.
I fell asleep in the middle of the game.
Oh,
Well,
damn,
you didn't hear the whole entire story.
All right,
I
give it
fell
to us.
asleep the whole entire game. Then my freaking dad
You said
tells
fucking
me-
that earlier.
tells me this morning. Oh, by the way, did you see that your Squirrels lost or Steelers lost?
Oh.
My dad, I fucking didn't get to see the whole entire game.
Oh, okay.
Who's your dad like?
He likes anybody except for the Steelers.
He's a good man then.
Well,
He's a good man.
he just appreciates the game.
Appreciates the game and has a good team when he sees one.
All right. Speaking of Steelers, they had the game was the final score of this game was 17-14 Steelers.
No.
The Patriots won.
Oh, I'm sorry.
17,
Patriots.
14.
The Patriots won 17.
14.
Steelers lost by 14.
Well, not by
Well, by
40,
three,
but
Yeah,
they-
3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they stunk.
Anyways,
Jinx, you owe me a
Jinx.
Coke.
Yeah.
You owe me a Coke. Good.
by the way, the player for the most rushing yards,
Who had the most rushing yards? Who was it?
who had the most? It was honestly for the other team, it was the Patriots. Michael Jones had 252.
Jesus Christ, there's no way. Now,
Yes.
That's Mac Jones' stats.
Mac
That's
Jones.
quarterback.
Well,
Mac
that's
Jones.
quarterback.
I do know like Harris had like 49 rushing yards.
Yes.
But he did have a good receiving stats. He had like 5 catches with 40 yards
That's
receiving,
pretty good.
which that's a pretty good receiving stats.
And we had a bunch of, well, we didn't have a bunch. Those interceptions.
I feel like the defense ruled this game, and the quarterbacks just kind of was mediocre, which I think, I don't know, Mac Jones could become something great.
He's gonna be something good.
But I don't know, Trubisky,
I feel like
I
he's
feel
playing
like-
to stay alive.
I feel like he might be a game manager.
Yeah, he's playing to stay alive.
I am
He's
excited to-
Right, even keel.
He's a game man? Come on now.
That's a game manager. Yeah.
Game manager? Come on now.
Game.
Game.
Game manager.
Game.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I am excited to eventually see, what's his name, Pickett?
Yeah, Pickett. He's I'm by no means a Pittsburgh fan, but that kid comes
Well,
from Pittsburgh
I
University.
appreciate-
He was good. I appreciate his
He-
football.
I appreciate
Right.
Harris, the
And I
running back.
think Najee's good too, but I think that Kenny Pickett's going to come in eventually. And I'd say halfway through the season, he's your starting quarterback, because Mitch Trubisky, he's really not been getting it done. He's doing just enough. He's not doing bad,
No.
but he's not doing enough.
I just
to
don't think
warrant
he's
that position.
improved from Chicago.
No, he's
Not at all.
same guy, man. He's same guy.
You know, I'm not. I just call it how I see it. He's just a game manager to me.
Andy, you got anything else to say about the Steelers and how that disgusting performance took place?
What's your overall prediction for the Steelers this
right?
year?
Go ahead and give it to us.
For this year,
For this
Mhm.
year,
they might get knocked out in the first round of the playoffs again.
I think that's realistic.
It could happen.
that could happen.
I mean, I like that you even put them in the playoffs. I think that's realistic. And there was something else we were going to talk about today. Remember, we
hold on a
said we
second.
have our picks. Go ahead, Andy.
Well, hold on a second. The Steelers next week are playing the Browns. It's going to be on Amazon Prime. The only way you can watch
that
it.
sucks.
The only way you can watch it
That sucks.
is
Well,
through Amazon Prime.
well, Quentin, didn't you say if there's local teams that?
That's what I'd read something, but I don't know, man. I doubt that we get to watch the game
So I'm
All right. Well, that leads us right into
unless
the
you
picks,
have
though.
Prime.
I
Unless you
have Prime.
That leads
Also,
us.
Andy will watch the game.
Well,
good for
he's-
him.
Yeah,
Fucking guy,
he's a football fan.
right? At
All
least
right.
he gets to watch the Prime.
That leads us right into the picks, though.
Mhm.
So, for the
Tell us the teams first, and then we'll say the picks, or you can read our picks out. How about that?
well, it'd be better if you said the picks, but I have them wrote down right here.
All right,
So the Steelers and Browns play Thursday night football.
Andy first.
Andrew,
Who did I pick?
who'd you pick for
Who'd you fucking
Steelers
pick,
and Browns?
Andy?
I
Who-
picked the Steelers, of course.
And me and Quinn picked the Browns.
I picked the Browns. Yeah, I think Jacoby Brissett, is not bad. They did well against the Jets. That was a weird game, and I think they could beat the Steelers. I do believe they
This
will.
is kind of a hard pick for me because the Browns have lost a couple of close ones. So I did eventually go with the Browns because I'm not a big
Which
Trubisky
they won the
believer.
first one.
And the Steelers have got some injuries though.
Well, the
TJ
Browns-
Watt.
Yes, they
yeah,
did.
the Browns won their first one though. They did win their first one.
Well, unfortunately, I have to work during games, so I got
Yeah, Browns
I
won
gotta
the
keep
first
up.
one, and they ended up fucking around losing the second one, which was a shit show to
Well,
the Jets.
Basically, I picked the Browns because of Steelers' injuries. And it's in Cleveland. Okay, Bills,
I agree with
Dolphins.
the injuries, yeah.
Bills, Dolphins in Miami. I'm alone on my pick here. Quinn
Yeah.
and Andrew rode the Dolphin train.
I'm not riding the train, Chad. You know very well I have a Dan Marino jersey upstairs. I have a Pat White jersey when he fucking played for the Dolphins
Well,
Pat
upstairs.
White was
I have a
awesome.
Ronnie Brown jersey.
I call it how I see it.
All right, so I am a Dolphin fan. I do dig the Dolphins,
It's in Miami.
and I picked Miami, man. I think that they're going to surprise people.
This was probably my last pick I made. This is the toughest. But, I picked the Bills last year to go to the Super Bowl, and I'm a Jets fan. They just got the most complete team, I think. And
They are good.
I picked the Bills.
They're a good team.
Andrew picked the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah.
I think the Dolphins will come out on top, honestly.
Tyreek Hill's going to run fucking wild.
Yes.
They both
For
got
sure.
good teams at all positions. So
They do. They
All right.
do.
Bengals and Jets in New York.
Well, let's just be honest.
Well, did you see the last Jet game?
I did not. I only got to see the highlights. I got to see the highlights.
Everybody
at the
wrote
end.
them off at halftime. What happened?
Well, there was that fumble recovery. Justin Hyde, was that his name, Chad?
It was Justin Hardy.
Hardy.
It was an
that's
onside
it,
kick,
yeah.
but they scored a touchdown before that because obviously they're kicking off.
Mm.
And then the last play of the game, the Browns had some time to do something,
Who would have thought Joe Flacco would have done?
and Jacoby threw an interception to Ashton Davis, which that was his first defensive snap of the game.
Mm. I mean, the Jets could be a shocker. What if Joe Flacco fucking turns around and takes Jets Super Bowl? You're
Yeah.
going to look like a real fucking dickhead because you didn't pick him, and that's your team.
I did pick him.
You didn't pick him to go to the Super Bowl.
Well, no, I didn't pick him to go to the Super Bowl.
Well, no, you did not. So
They're-
Joe Flacco
They're
takes
still
them.
building.
Nah.
Joe Cool.
If Joe Cool takes him to the Super Bowl, dude,
I like Flacco. So
You're gonna feel like a real fucking cocksucker.
the first thing he did when he got that big contract after the Super Bowl, you know what he did? He went and bought a Big Mac at McDonald's.
That's some real shit.
Yeah. You guys both picked the Bengals. They've been struggling, so
And I think they're gonna bounce back against the Jets. Man.
I agree.
they have reason to bounce back.
They
All
do.
right, on to the next game. Raiders and Titans.
I picked the Raiders.
We all picked the Raiders.
Yeah.
We all did.
We all
All
picked the
of us.
Raiders. I almost picked the Titans. It's in Tennessee. But overall, I picked the Raiders because they've been struggling.
Because I picked them.
Well, no, because they've been struggling too. And I'm actually kind of a Raider fan too.
I like the Raiders closetly. You know what I mean? Remember, your brother had a jacket back in the day. So did my sister. They had the starters jacket.
My brother, that was my brother's team, yeah.
Yeah.
But he hasn't even really watched the
Nah,
sports.
he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't pay attention.
All right.
But you know, I'm going with the Raiders on that one, man. Strictly because Devontae Adams is a fucking beast.
Oh yeah, he's one of the best receivers in the league.
So
I believe that.
I expect him to have a big game, and I think they win that. What we got next?
This one, me and Andrew agreed on. Saints versus Panthers. You're a big Baker Mayfield fan.
I thought you were going to say something else.
I was going to say Dick Ryder.
I was going to say, thank God he did. Thank God he did. He didn't go there.
Well, you brought it up, so yeah, you're a big Baker Dick
Fuck.
Ryder.
Nah, man, Baker's a winner.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a
Baker's a
Baker
fucking winner, and I expect him to find a way to win that game. Jameis Winston, the Saints, he fell apart.
The only reason
He fell apart at the end of the fucking
only
Buccaneers
reason
game.
I almost picked the Panthers, but I picked the Saints. The only reason I almost picked the Panthers, they're at home, and Jameis Winston's got 4 vertebrae in his back. And even after last game, he said he was in a lot of pain.
Well, and he should be, because he was terrible against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fucking god awful. All right, so
well, I didn't make it.
I expect,
I didn't make that pick just off of Jameson because I really don't even like Jameis Winston from the college.
I
stories.
expect Baker Mayfield to go out there. He's gonna make a scene, dude. McCaffrey's getting running again.
I love McCaffrey.
McCaffrey had good yards last.
I love
last game
McCaffrey,
that
and
they
of course
just
I
had.
love Robbie Anderson.
That's the problem, is that Baker don't have a lot of receivers. He's got Robbie Anderson.
Well, he's a solid too.
You know, yeah. So give the guy some credit. He jumped onto the worst team in the fucking league.
I ain't giving him no credit.
Which,
until he
if
proves
he
something.
would have waited, and I'm going to be the first probably to say this shit, but if he would have fucking waited and not took a pay cut, and that way he could go to the Panthers because they wanted him, he would have then stayed on the Browns, still been available when Dak Prescott would have got injured. And I think at that point, everybody in their right mind would have been saying for the Cowboys to go get Baker Mayfield.
Well, I'm sure you can get an autographed jockstrap here soon.
All right. Let's hope so.
Next game. Ravens and Patriots. We're all on the same page here.
All of us?
All of us.
It was a tough one, but, Lamar's been balling out.
He's been balling. That game against the Dolphins hurt. That fucking hurt. He had a great game.
It might hurt his spirits, so, but he's still going.
He had a great game, and they're going to win probably.
And it's worth noting, in the game versus the Dolphins, he passed Michael Vick on most 100-yard rushing games for a quarterback. So he's number one there.
That's worth noting, for sure.
Okay, we all picked the Ravens there, even though Mac Jones has got a high ceiling.
All right, what else you got?
All right, Lions and Vikings.
I want Vikings.
I want Vikings too. I've always kind of been a Vikings fan.
Hey, them Lions will fucking gnaw your kneecaps off.
Barry
That's
Sanders.
That's what Dan Campbell said. He was a tight end of the Cowboys, man. Now he's a fucking coach. He stood up there last year and said they were going to gnaw people's kneecaps off.
Barry Sanders is my favorite running back in the history of running backs.
He's the man. He was the man.
And of course, Walter Payton's awesome.
Emmitt Smith was better.
Well, I said fucking Lions was.
You think the Lions?
Yeah, Andrew called the Lions. It's in Minnesota, and their fans are ferocious.
Yeah.
Defense
is nasty.
I'm not a big Cousins fan, but he works what he's got.
Mad ass receivers. Crazy.
They've lost a couple receivers through the years, though. But yeah, I like is it Thielen?
Yep.
Yeah, I like
Justin Jefferson.
Jefferson. Yeah. All right.
They got some fucking moves, man.
Yeah, me and Q picked the Vikings. Andrew picked the Lions. Next game is the Eagles and the Washington Football Team Commanders.
In my division with the Cowboys. And that's an easy pick for me. The Eagles going to beat their ass.
You're the only one that picked the Eagles.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You guys are tripping.
I'm not a big Jalen Hurts fan, even though he has.
You a big Carson Wentz fan?
No, I like Hurts probably a slightly better than Wentz.
All right. Well,
I didn't pick the Eagles because I didn't think they were going to win this game.
It's in Washington. I didn't pick it because of the quarterback battle. I picked it because of the teams.
Wentz can play, but he's going to fuck up when it matters. The Eagles win. I'm telling you. You know, Skip and Shannon put dew on shit. We should put a case of beer on it.
Yeah.
That's the game right there. I'd be willing to put a case of beer on it.
Yeah, the only thing is, like,
You don't want to buy a case of beer for
I don't want to buy a case of beer for myself. I don't like beer. I like IPAs. You want to buy me some IPAs?
I ain't buying you
I
IPAs.
want to IPA Stone Cold Steve
All right,
Austin.
right now, let's put some beer on it. A tall boy, whoever's wrong is a tall boy.
I can do a tall boy.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, not in that context, but
Eagles beat the Commanders for sure.
Me and Andrew's got Commanders.
Yeah, we
All
got
right.
Commanders.
So next week we'll talk about whether or not I got my two tall boys for that win. All right, go on.
And Quinn's going to be buying me and Andrew a couple tall boys.
Which would suck, but go ahead.
Which he tracks tall boys, so okay.
Chad, you already said it earlier.
So it's Chiefs and Colts. This should be.
Man.
That's an easy peasy, dude.
That's an easy peasy, but Andrew picked Colts.
I picked Colts, dude.
That'd be wild.
It's in Indy.
It'd be fucking wild. And they're due for a win.
Yes, they are.
do have Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
They do have Jonathan Taylor.
I did forget about Matt Ryan.
You know what I'm saying? So they have pieces.
I hate working during football.
But I think the Chiefs win that game.
I don't know. Who knows? We'll find out at the end of the game.
Well,
We'll find out.
it's
But
in
we're on
Indy,
record right
and
now.
I've always liked Matt Ryan. I put him almost. It's got to be top 6. I almost put him top 5
Of what?
in the league now.
Okay. I was going to say,
Fuck no.
don't you dare.
Fuck no.
I was going to say.
I got Brady and Montana
Alright.
in the top 2.
Okay. Well.
Aikman can suck a dick.
Oh! I knew it. I knew you were going to say that. Go ahead. What else we got? Any more games on there?
In Chicago, we got Texans versus Bears.
Bears, man. Bears going to win it. Bears got a new stadium coming. They got to start
I
winning games.
picked Texans, dude.
Unless the Bears fucking
This one was one of my last picks because this was a tough one for me because Texans almost be a surprising team in week 1. They barely lost. And I'm not a big believer in the Bears or Justin Fields right now, or the team. Their O-line sucks, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, but I picked the Bears in Chicago.
Bears are tough, dude. They're a gritty team. They win this game. Is that the last?
No. We got 6 more games.
Come on, what else you got?
All right. So, Chargers are in L.A. now, not San Diego. So, it's Chargers in L.A. with the Jaguars.
Well, I'm sure I'm probably the only one.
You're the only one.
The only
Yeah.
one.
I said the Jaguars upset the Chargers, and that's going to fucking set the goddamn world on fire of sports, man.
Well,
They're going to shit the bed. when
here's
they see
my
this
thing,
shit.
though. Yeah, I appreciate everybody. I'm just not a Jets fan. My quarterback to watch is Justin Herbert, yeah. So, and the Chargers got a good team.
What about Trevor Lawrence?
I haven't got a good look at him because Saban, not Saban, but
Clemson. Man. He was Clemson.
well, who was the coach though? Oh, Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer was
Yeah,
the first coach.
I don't trust my first look at Trevor Lawrence because Urban Meyer coached the team. So I'm going
And
with
they got
Chargers.
fired.
Yeah, I'm going with Chargers in that game.
Nah, Jags are nasty. I'm telling you, they're serious this year. Trevor Lawrence shocks the fucking world, dude.
I'm not a Trevor
Trevor
Lawrence. I just don't
Lawrence.
know what to think of him yet. So
The defense is good. The offense is okay. Trevor Lawrence is a beast. Mark my words. I'll put a fucking goddamn fucking tall boy on that game.
how many?
That's another one.
How
You
many-
all want to put tall boys on it?
Well, how many tall boys we putting on games?
Yeah,
Maybe
come
we
on,
should start
dude.
putting tall girls on games.
Doggone.
You
come
want
on.
the bet or not, Chad?
Do I want to bet?
Yeah, if I'm right and you're wrong, you owe me a tall boy, and so's Andy.
On that game? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
You take it?
Well, yeah, I feel a little uneasy about the Eagles and Commanders game, but yeah, okay.
This one's gonna really.
No, this one.
Oof.
At
All right,
home,
it's
at
gonna
home,
happen.
At home, Chargers
It's
gonna
gonna
whoop.
happen.
They're gonna whoop.
Oh my god.
Jacksonville's
dude.
ass.
Thank you. I just tricked you both into fucking 4 beers.
Oh,
right,
shit.
go
Let's
ahead.
see.
Go ahead. Next
Okay.
game.
So I'm willing to make one more bet.
Christ, what's this?
So this is in Arizona. The Cardinals and Rams.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with this bet.
You both picked the Cardinals.
Andy was following my lead. I don't know why he was doing that.
Rams obviously won the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
He did.
They've lost some pieces, and I think they got some injuries.
I expect the Cardinals to surprise them.
I'm not a big.
Kyler Murray.
I think he's good. I like him better than Baker and the other people that I mentioned.
I think Baker's a shit, but
I just think
he just hadn't been on the right team.
the Rams are a better team, and I'm going with the Rams this game in Arizona.
Oh, and by the way, Ben Roethlisberger is retired now.
Fucking
If-
thank God.
If none of you guys knew this,
Well, I was in the
Fucking
club
thank
recently, and my ass didn't get touched.
Yeah, so we had an idea he wasn't around.
I had an idea that he was
Yeah.
staying at home,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's not in the league no more.
Thank God. Let them be. All right, Chad. Any other games?
Well, we put a tall boy in that last one, right?
No, I'm not.
3 tall boys. Yeah, that's the last bet.
The
I'm
Cardinal game?
making. Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to make that bet.
Well, we didn't shake on the other bets. I'll call them all off.
Can't do that.
We didn't shake.
we can check on.
I'll do a bootlegger. I'll do a bootlegger bet
On the Rams and
on
Cardinals.
the Rams Cardinals game where I buy a bootlegger.
Well, I have to buy
And
you a
then-
bootlegger of the Cardinals one.
Yeah.
No, those are tall boys. Yeah. You have to buy me a
Yeah.
bootlegger.
You know bootleggers are more expensive than tall boys.
I didn't.
Yeah, they're $250.
What's the cheapest thing I can afford?
Well, we already said bootleggers.
All right, fuck it. That's our bootlegger bet then. We're gonna
All right,
do
that was the last and final bet because this next game
All right.
you probably
Chad,
want to
mark
bet.
down, write down.
I already got the games in my mind.
Make sure that we know our bets.
I know we know
I've got tall boys
we-
coming my way.
we got our picks, and I know what games we bet on.
Okay.
We're not actually betting. It's just honest.
Being
game.
honest.
Honest.
Gentlemen's bet. That's when you get.
Yeah.
That's what the tall boys.
It's an honest game, but we're not gambling over here.
It's tall boys
All right,
and beers and bootleg.
I'm absolutely not betting on this game, but I went against the mold in Tampa Bay.
Who they playing? Who we got?
And they're playing not Gangrene, but they're playing Packers.
That's easy for me. I think the Green Bay Packers lose that, don't you?
I'm betting this is strictly
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, buddy.
a quarterback bet.
We all pick Buccaneers.
This is strictly a quarterback pick for me because I do think Buccaneers got a better team, but
You picked Aaron Rodgers.
I picked the Packers. Yes, and Tampa Bay.
Damn, that'd be a hell of a fucking upset, man.
Hell yeah.
That was my one upset
Yeah.
pick. Yeah.
All right. I don't think it's going to happen, but that'd be all right.
All right.
He's
next
a nice
game.
guy. He's funny on Pat McAfee show, but go ahead.
Oh, speaking of Pat McAfee,
Well, we'll have to save that. It's probably about wrestling, isn't it?
well, yeah.
Well, we'll save that after
Save that for
after our picks.
another fucking. Yeah.
All right. Next game because we're almost done. Falcons and Seahawks. We're all on the same page here.
Seahawks, man.
Gino's been
Geno
balling.
Smith, dude.
Yeah, Gino's been doing good.
W, baby.
Seahawks lost the last game, I think, but he's still been balling.
Yep,
And
all about that.
And that's in Seattle, and Seattle's fan base is one of the best, I'd say, the stadium and noise-wise.
Well, the Falcons, I mean, they're
They're kind of in rebuild mode.
basically. And Marcus Mariota, man, come on.
Yeah.
Gino's better, dude. Gino's better.
Well, wait. They wrote him off, and he didn't write back. You know he trademarked that?
Who did?
Did you know he said that after his first game?
Who, Gino?
He said, they wrote me off, and I didn't write back. Did you know September 14th he trademarked that?
Hell yeah, good for him.
That's what I thought.
We're going to get sued now because you just said it?
Probably. Yeah, I'll probably have to pay him something.
All right, that was Chad Robinson just provided that quote.
That was stupid of me, yeah.
But anyways, go ahead.
All right, in Denver, Broncos versus 49ers. Andrew's alone on this pick.
I said Broncos, man.
I said Broncos too, just because they're due for a good game, and 49ers have some internal problems.
But do they? They're back to Jimmy G that took them to a Super Bowl that they were ready to be done with. So do they, though?
I'm not really a Jimmy G fan.
But he gets it done. He gets it fucking done.
He's a high caliber game manager.
Now this pick, I am.
I'm
betting.
We're moving on to the next pick.
Andy,
now?
don't you dare bet me something expensive. What do you got?
Which pick you talking about? You talking about the Niners,
This
Broncos, or the next one?
This pick.
This one?
Yes.
You want to bet all your nuts on Jimmy G?
No, not Jimmy G.
You want a tall boy bet on this?
I'm done betting. 3 bets is my limit.
Andy gets a bet, doesn't he?
Let's say $100.
Fuck that. Get a fuck
Okay,
out.
$50.
Hell no.
All right, how about a 12-pack of beer?
Whether or not he's right and we're wrong.
Do you know you have to buy us both 12 packs of beer, and then we
could just throw in and get you a pack.
Unless you're just trying to,
We'll take that bet if we throw in.
What about 6-pack?
If we throw
or
in,
we can do the 12 pack and he takes 6 and I take 6. Or you guys can have your side bet. It don't matter.
No. He could owe us each a 12 pack, and then we could be a team on this where basically, ta-da.
What happens? What happens if you guys lose that? What do I get?
You get a
12 pack. You're one person.
And a high five.
And a high five. Smacking the ass.
For participation.
Smacking the ass.
Yeah. I might pinch your cheek.
Oh my God. Shut the fuck up.
Is there any more games? Because we got 2 minutes.
I don't really think there is any more games. I think that's all the games.
All right. Well, we didn't talk about the Cowboys.
Oh, I forgot about that game.
We didn't talk about that. How do you feel? How's everybody feel?
That's a Monday night game.
Yeah.
Cowboys versus Giants.
I'm talking about the Cowboys.
Oh, you just want to talk about them in general.
I'm talking about the Cowboys versus Bengals.
Well, Cooper Rush and his receiving guy. What's his name?
Noah Brown, man.
Noah Brown.
They had workouts together for a long time. Practice squad.
They've been practicing a long time.
They look pretty fucking good.
They had a hell of a game, and the Cowboys has got a lot of talent.
Yeah.
So generally speaking, it's Cooper Rush's job to prove everybody wrong.
Can he do it? That's the question.
I don't think he can myself, but
I mean, he had 19 to 31 for 235 yards and a touchdown.
And solid quarterback stats, yeah.
Zeke did good, didn't get enough carries, honestly.
Well,
he got blown up a couple times. Wasn't his fucking
I'm pretty sure Pollard had a great game, though.
Pollard looked really good. Noah Brown, 5 catches, 91 yards and a touchdown.
Like this season so far, Pollard's been overshadowing Zeke.
No, he hasn't, man.
In my eyes, but you say Pollard can't block.
Jamar Chase was held to 5 catches for 54 yards. And fuck it, man. We're about out of time here, guys.
Well, Cowboys Giants.
We're jumping into our next segment. We're going to go ahead and go to a break. And after that, we'll be back.
Well,
Talk to you
Andrew
soon.
picked the Giants and me and Quinn picked the Cowboys. Goodbye.
Now. All right. Welcome to Whiskey Weenies Wednesdays. We're back and we're with Peter Mazzucco. He is an actor and producer out of Canada. Peter, tell us about yourself.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on Whiskey Weenie Wednesdays. Am I your first weenie on the show?
You are our first weenie. Thanks for
Love
being here,
it.
man. We really appreciate it.
Hey, no, thanks for having me. Ryan and I go back a little bit. We've been talking for a few years about filming or shooting Devil's Diary, which is an amazing script you got. And Ryan, one day we will do that.
It's coming,
man.
We
will do it.
It's coming. You know, you were perfect for the role, and it was written specifically for you, like literally.
Oh, thanks so much. I was a little thinner then. That was before COVID when you wrote it.
That's all right.
COVID weight, so
hey, that's perfect,
jog
man.
it off.
That's perfect though, man. You know, sometimes a little bit of extra meat on the bones is scarier. You know.
Well, all you got to do is look at me, and you can tell I'm scary. I don't need any extra meat on the bones. I'm an actor, but I really got a face for radio. I think I picked the wrong medium.
Hey, I've seen you play many things so far, like that commercial, man. I need to see. I haven't seen the second part or the third part. Maybe it is. I haven't seen where you were like the what was it, attorney or an accountant?
Oh yeah, the bad accountant. Yeah. It's not a stretch for me. I can't do my taxes very well.
That was great.
I always get the reassessment letters in the mail.
That was great, man.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, that stuff is fun. Just to give you a little history on me, I studied theater. It's got to be more than 30 years ago now at university, and I had a chance to actually study in New York, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's another actor. We both went to U of T Scarborough campus, which is an East End campus of the University of Toronto, out here in Ontario, Canada, and we were interviewed by a interviewer who's a friend of mine, and he says, the reviewer says to me, he says, listen, you guys went to the same school, so why the different path? And I said, I'll tell you something. Tony Napple, the other actor, is a great actor.
Yeah, Tony's a great guy, man. I've talked to him a few times there.
He's an amazing guy. He's a great actor, great guy, no nonsense. He says it like it is. You know where he stands. There's no second guessing him, and I love people like that. People like that are just great.
He's a wonderful guy, man.
Absolutely amazing guy. And so we did this interview with Joe Scaris, who is a reviewer and a writer. He reviews primarily theater, but he does some films and he does interviews. So we were being interviewed by Joe. So Tony and I, we both went to the same school. We both kind of started out on the same path, but Tony went for it, and man, he went through the struggles and the challenges, and his story is just crazy and just really interesting and just filled with challenges and overcoming challenges and just succeeding and just
he made it to some shows, didn't he? He got on some like actual shows and stuff, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he's doing he was on Bad Blood, which was a series, a mob series based on a Canadian mobster. He's on this great show now called Strays. It's a comedy set in an animal shelter. It's a 30-minute comedy every week. It's been renewed, I think, for a third season now. He can be funny, he can be scary, he can be dramatic. Like, the guy has the chops. So in this interview, Joe asked me, so how come you guys went a different path? I said, I'll be honest with you, I was afraid to take the risk. I settled for a life in corporate Canada or corporate America if I was in America, and it did me well. I did okay, but about 10 or 12 years ago, I said, I just can't do this anymore. So I started acting again, and it's been a tough road. I did it full time, like nothing to fall back on for about 5 years. And having a family, that's a tough thing to do. So
you're not kidding.
And I got a day job again, but I'm still keeping busy. Not only am I acting, but I'm producing. I'm assistant directing. I'm writing. I actually wrote a short that I'm in pre-production for right now. It's a comedy. So just kind of doing it all.
What's
Just trying to see.
what's the name of that one? Can you release it yet?
It's called The Date, and I wrote it with a friend of mine. I met him when he was in film school, and I was just starting out again, and I did. This is something for you young actors, maybe, I don't know. So I had this audition for a student movie, and some of these student movies are great. Some of them, like these guys and gals really want to prove something. So they write these incredible scripts, incredible dialogue, incredible characters. So I was working at the Home Depot after hours. So I was acting during the day. From 10 o'clock at night till 6:30 in the morning, I'm stocking shelves at Home Depot. So the audition was late in the day, and I had to get to work. So I'm wearing work boots, hadn't shaved in a couple of days, just, work shirt and the rest of it. And I get into the audition, and they both look at each other, the director and the producer. And then they look at me, and it's just like, okay, let's do the scenes. So we did the scenes, and he says, so we shoot in 2 weeks. Are you available? I said, you're kidding, right? I said, I'm tired. I'm done. I just, I wasn't even going to show up. And the director producer say, that's exactly what we're looking for. You're the guy. When we wrote it, this is who we were looking for. And I'm thinking, wow, I wasn't even going to show up, guys. But hey, thanks.
That's awesome,
So,
man.
Yeah, it was just kind of one of those funny stories. And Adam, who was the director and writer who I'm writing this short with, says, yeah, everybody else came in, just didn't seem like a real guy, and we were just looking for a real guy to play this part. And you were a real guy. And I said, that's because I didn't care, and I was tired, and I almost didn't show up. And he says, that's exactly what we wanted.
Authentic.
But Adam and I are writing. We wrote this comedy about. It's called The Date. It's about dating when you're older, which would be me,
Nice,
and dating when you're younger. Just the kind of differences that are involved. And
whole nother ball game.
Funny. Pardon me?
It's a whole nother ball game, isn't it?
It is, right? So, I mean, and this is based on, people we know and stories we've heard and stuff like that. And it's just kind of funny how he's half my age, basically. And the dating world for him with apps and the rest of it, and let's say I get out there and date or whatever, it's a whole different ball game for me. So we just thought, what would happen if an old guy dated and a young guy dated, and they knew each other and had to compare stories? So
that's awesome. You ever need any help on that, man? Holler at me. I know I could throw in some funny ideas on that, man. That's a great concept.
Yeah, so we're doing it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Adam's a great writer, and once we get it done, we're going to submit to festivals and stuff. He's a great writer as well, just like you, Ryan. He enjoys writing dialogue, writing stories, writing characters, and it's kind of his passion. And he works in the industry as well. So when he's not working, 80-hour weeks or whatever, he's writing. So it's great to be working with him.
That's awesome, man. The boys got some questions here for you, man.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Chad, you want to go ahead and roll with one?
Well, first though, like how long you think that short's going to be?
We're hoping it'll be under 20 minutes. It'll be under 20 minutes.
Because I've seen some short films. Yeah, short and sweet. So, is there any roles that you've turned down?
Yeah, I turned down a role. I'm not going to get into specifics. I mean, I kind of keep my personal life private, and it had to do with something going on in my life. I actually, years ago, I'd worked with this producer on a web series that actually did quite well, and it was financed by a production company in France, actually. So it was kind of an international thing. But anyway, she was onto another project, and she called me. She says, "I got this great thing for you." So I auditioned and talked to the director, and they had a lot of money behind it, and they had some really good people attached to it. So I was offered the role, but things going on in my personal life, it just didn't work out. Excuse me. And
It happens.
yeah, it happens, right? And the film did go on to, I know it was nominated for a bunch of awards here in Canada, like big awards, like the Canadian Screen Awards. So, which is pretty much your Oscars or Emmys.
Okay.
So it was nominated for a bunch of stuff. No regrets about turning it down. It just wasn't the right time for me. And I think everybody who was involved with that went on to do some other great things, because this has got to be 8 or 9 years ago now. But no regrets not doing it, and I'm glad it got done, and I'm glad it got the recognition it deserved.
Yeah, man, that's that kind of stuff like that happens, man. Like, I've been approached with different types of things that just weren't going to work out for me. They weren't my bag. I'm working on one right now that takes place in Paris, and
Wow.
it's like a murder mystery romance type situation, and it's a little bit outside of my realm, because it's not like I write mainly horror and comedy.
Yep.
You know what I mean, and that sort of thing, but I love mystery, so I found myself enjoying it, just being a co-writer on it. But it's definitely a different experience for me, so it's like I'm glad I didn't turn this one down. I want to see where it goes, and it'll be a thing.
I'd love to read it once it's done.
I've got a first draft. I got a first draft so far that I can send you, and I'm like I said, just a co-writer on it, and cleaning some things up, making some changes, kind of trying to throw my touch on it, and I think it's kind of got a cool spin. Like, now that I've gotten through the first draft, and I'm sure it's going to be a lot different by the time it's completely done, but I'd definitely be interested in hearing your thoughts on it, because I always respect your opinion.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'd love to read it. I mean, everything I've read from you has been great. Devil's Diary and Route.
Rural Route 76.
I can't even say rural route. Is that so bad?
Around here where we live, there's a lot of rural routes. These little off the beaten path, dangerous roads you don't go down. I think Andy's got a question here for you. Andy, what do you got, brother?
What's some of your favorite films, and what's your biggest inspiration?
Well, Andy, I grew up on gangster films. I mean, my background's Italian.
Nice.
So, I mean, I remember, the Godfather trilogy, and
yes,
watching, Goodfellas and
Casino,
stuff like that. Casino. You know what? Rocky's absolutely one of my favorite films. The rags to riches, type story. The underdog story is always great. But I really like, some of these films, like Tree of Life and stuff like that, which, I mean, you got to sit there for 2 or 2.5 hours, and, there's no machine guns, there's no boxing, there's no, crazy action or whatever.
Yeah.
But it just kind of, if it's a good film like that, it really just kind of like getting into like just being absorbed or absorbing everything that's in it. Little Miss Sunshine is another one of those films with, like, I think it's Alan Arkin in that, who's great.
That's a good one.
Those films that are just kind of off the beaten path, a little different. I wish I could name some of the
what do you think of Chad was trying to get me into Ray Donovan? You watch?
Can I tell you Liev Schreiber's story?
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
We love that.
Chad would love that. We're huge fans of Liev Schreiber.
I watched Goon the other night.
Okay, so I was doing background in the movie Spotlight, based on what happened in Massachusetts, the priests and the horrendous acts that they did to children there. And I'm not putting down the church or priests or anything like that. There's good and bad in everyone, right?
Right.
But these incidents happened, right? So they made a movie about it, and so I played one of the editors in the boardroom. The scene was cut. You don't see me in it. I think you might see me in a couple background things or whatever. But so I'm in the editor's room with a bunch of other actors and stuff, and so they're setting the camera up to get another shot, and we're sitting there, and Liev Schreiber, and he's got this really deep voice, right? And obviously, you know, he's got a deep voice, and he's just, you know, I know he's a great actor, and so he's just in there, and he's like, listen, I got some kids, and they really like knock jokes, and you guys got knock jokes you can tell me, because I'm all out. Like, I don't know any new ones, and maybe if you know one, you can tell me.
Sounds like
does it? Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to. I think the guy's great, and I'm not trying to like make fun of the guy or whatever. But he's got this deep voice, right?
Yeah, he's great,
So,
man.
Yeah, so we're sharing knock jokes while waiting for the camera to set up, and I think Robin Williams just passed away, and I brought him up in a conversation, and he tells a story of he was shooting a movie with Robin Williams in England, and the name escapes me now. I really should know. I feel bad. I can't remember. But Lev was saying Lev was having trouble with a girlfriend at the time, and Robin realized, you know, something was going on. So once Robin Williams found out what was going on, they had about 5 days off between shooting. He bought him a ticket to New York and said, "Go deal with your personal life and then come back.
Wow.
We'll still be here when you get back."
Robin Williams is an awesome man.
He went.
Yes, yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah, what a great guy. So it was great to hear that story. It's, you know, it was two things. It was great to be in that room with Lev Schreiber, and just, you know, him asking us for knock jokes, and then hearing that great story about Robin Williams. It was just a really good experience. Unfortunately, I got cut out of the movie. I'm not in it, but you know, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I got paid for being there, so that's all right.
Still, man, it's awesome being in the same room as him.
That's
you
a
know?
cool story to hear. Yeah.
Like, I think, like, I loved him in Scream. Was, you know, one of the first things I was introduced to him with. You know what I mean? And then, of course, he was in the X-Men movies. You know, and a lot of other good movies after that. But Chad tried to get me into the Ray Donovan. And I was watching. I was, you know, because I, you know me, I'm more. I like to watch horror movies. I like to watch, you know, comedies. You know, I'm trying to escape. Like, I don't really dig dramas all so much all the time, because, like, I feel like life's dramatic enough the way it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I want to watch a movie and escape. So I wasn't sure it would be for me. And sure as shit, you know, I watched it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I can totally watch this. You know. So now,
and I think that role was made for him.
It was. It was
absolutely made for him.
It was.
And if he was younger, I could see him playing Reacher, like Jack Reacher, the new series.
Absolutely. I never even thought
but the
about
guy
that
that got now, I can't remember his name, but he's great as well. So
yeah, that's actually a good call on that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so I mean, that was fun being in that room with them. And as for my influences, they were all over the place. I remember in high school trying to be pretentious and, you know, artsy or whatever, and trying to impress some girls, getting into like the French new wave cinema, like Godard, who just passed away recently, Truffaut, getting into you know, the Swedish cinema, like who wrote damn, now I can't even remember his name, but like into that, you know, kind of artsy avant-garde,
almost
kind of
cliche stuff, where it was like, you know, you had to know, like a cult classic almost.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Fellini, because he was Italian, got into him. Bertolucci was Italian as well. But, you know, they're all kind of making, you know, these epic kind of like heavy dialogue films, or some, you know, there'd be heavy dialogue and then like 20 minutes of just scenes of, you know, nature and people's faces. And so it was just kind of, you know, that
gritty,
that type of film. And, you know, they were just trying new things, right? And I thought that was pretty cool, too. And some of the actors that they had during that time, like Catherine Deneuve and stuff like that, who were just great actors. And they went on to do other stuff as well. But I was influenced by that. I thought, but I mean, that's a whole different time, whole different place. That stuff doesn't fly anymore with audiences, or at least I don't think it does. And
just kind of depends on the crowd, I guess, anymore.
Yeah, and you know what? Even horror films are getting like Jordan Peele, right? With his films. I mean, he's taking it to a new level.
I haven't gotten to see Nope yet. I'm looking to watch that one soon.
Same here. I haven't seen that one, but he takes it to a different level, right? It's just
right. Get Out.
Oh no.
Get Out.
Remember that?
And it's just like there's all this tension. There's and the film has some commentary too. When you think about it after you watch, it's just like there's more to that than just being a horror movie.
There's different thoughts behind it. Kind of thrilling.
It's just great stuff. So that stuff I love watching. But I mean,
you've done some mafia work and stuff too, like with like your films and stuff. Haven't you played like the role? Like I know in that one short, it was a short you did that was the ballerina. Was you were a father in that one, but that was powerful stuff, man.
Yeah, and being a father, having a daughter, I mean, it was just kind of crazy. And that one had to do with, on campuses, and just in general. I mean, not to get on a whole soapbox here or whatever, but I mean, a lot of guys don't understand what consent is, and
right.
It's
that means
it's a terrible
man.
thing when women are abused, and the story just kind of focused on an event. It was just awful, heartbreaking. It was, hopefully everybody had the emotions of being angry and sad and it hopefully took them places, and it's a great story, and it's an issue that needs to be addressed. And I played a dad that had to deal with losing his daughter to that.
That was deep, man. I remember watching that, and I've got two sons, so it's a little bit different, but at the same time, it's the same, because it can happen to anyone,
It can. You're right. It can happen to anyone. In this case, it had to do with, a woman who, didn't consent to sex and was raped, and it's just it's all the women have to live in fear and be careful, things being slipped in their drinks or walking alone at night and all this sort of stuff. It's just a horrible thing that they have to deal with. And then the movie just dealt with one incident and a loss, and a father's loss, and the anger. It was a tough movie to make. In a couple of ways, I think the director had his vision, and directors always have their visions. And sometimes as an actor, I get in there and it changes for me, or the scene will change. I mean, I'm always in the moment, which is, something out of all the classes I've taken and the rest of it, Sanford Meisner's be in the moment, his techniques, I really find really work because, it's about being real, basically.
Yeah, being there, being in the moment and feeling it.
Exactly, right? Yeah. So, just filming that movie, wow, it had a lot of impact on me. So I'm glad I did it. And yeah, I'll play stuff like that. And, that's a father who was angry, who was sad. You see him cry. You see him have, he holds a gun to a guy's head who, really was the one who,
was a perpetrator, right?
He was a perpetrator, right? He was the asshole, right?
Yeah.
Excuse my language.
No. Hey, you're free to cuss on this show, brother.
That's actually our type of language.
Cool. And then I'll play other fathers where it's just kind of easygoing fathers, right? I played unfortunately, I think I'm trying to think back now. I think most of the fathers I play are jerks. Other than the ballerina, I think most of them are jerks. But,
and that's all right too, man. Somebody's got to play the role,
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man Final Swing, where you were in that too. Like, is that another credit you had, or?
That's another credit. That one, it's funny. It's a guy he's an internet. I don't know. He gets. I think one of his YouTube, whatever they're called, has like 43 million hits or something ridiculous, right?
Mhm.
He's a big Marvel fan. He's a big Spider-Man fan, and he's been doing this movie bit by bit over the years. And he called me up to do a few things, and I just was never available. So last year he says, listen, this is my last chance with you because I think it's the last role I have. Because I've been doing it bit by bit. So I played Walter Hardy, who's a thief,
Awesome.
a thug. He's just not the nicest guy. Or he's, when you, obviously, when I play a character, I'm not going to play him one-sided. And, you know, there's layers to everybody, right?
Like an onion, man.
Exactly. So the scene is I go visit my daughter, and I find out my daughter's become a thief just like me. And I got to deal with it, and I don't deal well with it. So, I mean, it shows that, you know, even though he lived that life, he doesn't want his daughter to live that life. You know, he served some time. He doesn't want his daughter to get caught and serve time. And it's funny because with my daughter, he wanted pictures of me with my daughter as a baby. So it's kind of funny that they're going to be inserted or they're going to be in the background.
Okay, cool. So he used a little bit of your like personal life too.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just kind of funny how you see a younger me with a baby, my daughter, and you know you fast forward, you know, 20 years or whatever, and I'm playing the scene with this wonderful actress, and it'll be funny to see the final product, to see how those photos, how they're shown, how they fit in, and stuff like that. It should be pretty interesting. And so that's a father, yeah, and you know that father, you know, had a past, and he didn't want his kid to follow in his footsteps. And you know what? The scenes are really good. I was really quite impressed with the writing. It's just it took them a few years to make. It's been a year and a half now since we shot it, I think. So
That's
or I could be wrong. My time is all off.
It takes a while for that stuff to get going, though. Sometimes, man, you know what I mean. Like it takes. I mean, look how long you and I've been, you know, working on the Devil's Diary and everything, and
oh, absolutely.
You know, with that,
absolutely.
I think Chad's got another question here.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
I know you guys mentioned the Devil's Diary, which obviously Quinn's worked on.
Yeah.
You seem like a nice guy, Peter. How'd you get involved with a couple knuckleheads like Ryan Quinn and Manuel Del Silva?
Oh man, that's funny. No, Ryan's a great guy.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy.
Hey man, okay, I don't know him like you guys.
No, I'm a great guy, yeah. Peter. I am.
He likes to be stroked.
I'm a great guy.
It's funny, Ryan, I guess, has seen my IMDb page and maybe seen a couple of clips of things I've done, and he messaged me one day, and we chatted briefly, and he says, "Would you read it?" I said, "Of course, I'll read it." And so I read it, and the story's a great story. It deals with it's not only a horror story, but it deals with a lot of things. It deals with family relationships.
Yep.
It deals with work, and deals with knowledge. It deals with
trying to balance the two.
Pardon me?
Trying to balance the two between family and and work itself, and
and obsession with things, and it deals it deals with a lot of stuff. It's not just a horror story. I mean, at the end of it, there were a whole bunch of thoughts, right? And also questions. And I love movies that although it all makes sense, there's also some questions, right? And those are great movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan wrote that. I mean, he wrote that into Devil's Diary, and I'm thinking, wow, this is great. And let's do it. I mean, we've been talking about it. It'll get done.
Yep.
It'll definitely get done. Because it's a great script.
And that role, man, that was wrote like specifically for you, really like, and so was the house. Like, the location was written specifically, for Jeff Davis's home, which Jeff's still on board. He's still with us. So I
That's
mean, we
great.
just got to find the time and make it work. That's going to be the ticket there. You know what I mean?
And it'll happen. I know it'll happen. I have faith in it. I have faith that it's going to happen. I mean, it's too good of a story. Not, and yeah, I mean, and it's a great role. It really is a great role. And actually, there's not a bad role. There's not a character that's wasted in that movie, which is so great. I don't think there's a moment wasted in that movie, which is just so great. So, really looking forward. It's going to happen. Really looking forward.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it too, man. Like the way, because you know how it is. Like we had to be limited, with the amount of actors that we had. We had to be limited to our locations. And Jeff's house, we were fortunate enough to have where it's a very big home, and it has a lot of really cool environments.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember we had a couple of chats with Jeff, and I think he sent pictures of his home.
Yep.
So yeah, it absolutely is the perfect place to shoot it, and you wrote for it as well. So it's just perfect because it has the rooms you need. It has, yeah, it just totally suits it. So that's amazing. It'll get done right. We're gonna do this film. I have no doubt about that.
I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be really, really cool. What's the last festival you went to? Like, did you go to TIFF this year? Because what is TIFF? Because I seen where you and Andrew B have gone before, I think, right?
Yeah, Andrew went this year because I think he had a film there. I'll be honest with you. I used to go and I love the parties. I still love the parties. And what's happened recently is I have a really bad case of tinnitus, which has been getting worse over the last few years. So I'm getting fitted for a hearing aid. You heard it here first. I'm getting fitted for a hearing aid. And what's crazy is being in crowds with music and stuff like that. It's just not the most comfortable environment. So I passed on the parties this year, although I would love to have gone.
Is that what it is? It's kind of like a big festival, big party where everybody gets together and they kind of. That's a good place to network, I assume.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is, the Toronto International Film Festival is one of the largest in the world. It's one of the most popular in the world. It's been going on for 47 years. Multiple venues, the biggest stars, the biggest movies. I mean, we had Hugh Jackman in town. We had
awesome.
Oh man, Viola Davis. We had a whole bunch of people in town. It was just a huge event, and people come here to premiere films. Spielberg premiered his film here, The Fabelmans, which is basically kind of a
biopic,
an autobiography, yeah, kind of sort of thing, right? And I mean, he loves this festival, and it's just. I mean, when people think of festivals like world festivals, they think of Sundance, they think of TIFF, they think of Venice, they think of the Cannes Film Festival in France. It's up there. It just attracts a lot of stars, a lot of movies to see, a lot of Q&As, a lot of parties, obviously. But to be honest, with my hearing, and because I didn't have anything really out there this year, I felt. You know what? I'll kind of pass on this one.
But you've been there before, though. You've been there before.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they're fun parties. I mean, when some of them you got to pay for booze, but some of them is free flowing booze, and by the end of the night, you're thinking, I gotta find a hotel room.
Blast.
Yeah, for sure.
I might come up missing. Yeah.
I'll tell you something. Tickets aren't cheap. I used to go years ago. I used to work in a part of downtown Toronto where they actually had the TIFF office. This is going back 30, 35 years. I'm a little old, obviously, and it was it was still popular then, still famous. A lot of premieres, a lot of red carpets, a lot of people flying in for movies and stuff. but it was just a lot easier to get a ticket, and it was a lot more affordable. Like, to get a pass for this is just, I don't even know what it is, but it's in the thousands of dollars, I think, to get like a festival
My
pass.
God.
I could be wrong, but
believe
it's hundreds of dollars at least, right?
I figured it wasn't
And,
cheap.
Yeah, it's not cheap. And even tickets, not even to premieres or to special showings, are over $20.
Damn.
So, to see a movie. So it gets pricey. That being said, yeah, great place to network. Films you may only see here because they may never get distribution, or they may, just be shown at festivals, and you get an experience you'll never get anywhere else. It's just worth doing at least once in your life. Just like I'd love to do the Venice or Cannes Film Festival or Sundance at least one time in my life.
Great.
Absolutely. Have you ever done like any premieres? Have you ever been to like any premieres for films that you've been in?
Yeah, we did. I've done a couple. I did
some red carpet stuff.
Yeah, did on a smaller scale than TIFF, but these were cool festivals. I did this film years ago, and it was called Meet the Parents. It was by a Nigerian writer-director who now lives in Toronto. And just a great film about family, very intense. And I play a doctor. And what's funny is I had a mustache at the time, and I played this this doctor who basically does a paternity test and
gets it wrong,
and that sort of and so we do the movie. It's a great movie. It's won a bunch of awards on different continents. So we're at this premiere at the Black Film Festival, Toronto Black Film Festival. So I'm doing the red carpet, doing the photos and stuff. We get inside, we watch the film, and the presenter, the host says, "Okay, let's have the cast and crew up here." And I'm thinking, I had one scene, small role. It's like, I'm just going to sit down, right? So the lead actress is great. She grabs my hand. She says, "Just come on up here." It's like, okay, whatever. So I go, and I just stand at the back. So they're asking questions, and one woman gets up and gets the mic, and she says, "I have a question for the actor that played the doctor." I'm like,
"Oh shit!"
And so I move up to the front of the group. It's just like, hi, grab the mic that's at the front. Just like, so in order to prepare for your role, did you watch a lot of Maury? Because basically the line is, "The child is yours," right? Or the son, right?
Yeah. You're not the child, or you're not the father, or whatever.
So I just laughed hysterically, going, that probably would have been a good way to prepare for it. But I didn't. But that's a great question, I said to her. It was just hilarious. I think
that is funny.
It's just a funny question. And like I said, I was in one scene, didn't expect to be asked any questions or not even be noticed. Didn't think anybody would remember the doctor. It was a pivotal scene, but it was funny just to get that question.
That's awesome,
at that festival.
You've done on stage stuff too. What was that? The one you did, The Death of a Salesman?
What did I do? I did
That's a famous one.
Oh, I'm trying to think. I didn't do Death of a Salesman. I did Mambo Italiano. Which
that's it.
Father.
Okay.
I play a father who finds out his son is gay, and how I react to it. And Italians, Italian fathers, sometimes their reactions aren't the best. But that was a lot of fun. Was nominated for Best Supporting Actor in that one here in Ontario, actually, through a theater where they give awards or whatever for theater here in Ontario. Didn't win, but it was great to be nominated.
Still, yeah, very cool. Very cool.
I did. One of my favorite plays, though, was I did at a theater downtown, and it was a short play festival. It's like 10 minutes or under. So it was a bunch of them in one night. And I pretty much, out of the 10 minutes, I'm talking for about 7 minutes. And it's not hard to imagine, seeing as I'm doing most of the talking on this phone call, right? So
Hey, we appreciate you, man. You make it easier on Andy. Andy's over here sweating bullets.
I just have another question.
All right, Andy, wait your turn,
He's
damn it.
had his hand up.
Wait your
I'm
turn,
sorry.
Andy.
Okay, tell you what. I'll finish this, and then you can ask your question.
Okay.
I gotta tell you, I work from home now, and I don't really see a lot of people. So every time I see somebody, it's just like, hi, and just go on and on, right? Whether they like it or not. I talk to people I don't even know sometimes. I'm not even joking, right? I'll be walking.
Just happy to see somebody.
Walking through the grocery store, it's just like, hi, what do you think of this hamburger helper? It's a new flavor, you ever try it? Just like, I don't know, it's just like somebody to talk to. But so we did this play written by a writer in New York, a playwright in New York, and it was called Call Raoul. So there's this huge monologue in it. The monologue's about 3 or 4 minutes long, and then there's a bunch of dialogue. So do this play, and I loved it because I did a Brooklyn accent and the rest of it, and
can you give us a snippet of the Brooklyn accent?
Hey, wait. I'd have to try and remember some lines.
The fucking rigmarole.
I'm kind of talking like this.
You
fuck. Talking like, I'm kind of talking like Raoul, It's like everybody's talking about this Raoul guy. I don't know who he is. And it's just like, So, and I do the accent. It was a lot better than that because I practiced it, worked on it. The director worked with it. That
still was great.
And so it's a 2-week or 3-week run of these plays. And one Friday night, I'm in the theater, and there's windows around the entrance, and they hadn't opened it up to the public, so I'm just sitting there chilling with a water or something, and I look out, and there's this guy looking in the window, and then I go over. I'm going, this face looks familiar, so I go over to the board where they have all the actors' bios and photos and the rest of it, and there's a photo of the playwright from New York. He's there to see the play.
Hell yeah.
I'm going, oh man, it's just like, this is a little too intense. But anyway, after the show comes up to us, he says, it was great. I really like the way you guys did it. And the rest of it, he says, next weekend I'm flying in with my family. So they fly in, they see the play, and afterwards we'll go for dinner. So we're hanging out. We also walk into the restaurant, and we sit down, and then I start talking in my regular voice, right?
Right.
And his wife, in her New York accent, says, oh my God, I thought you were like from New York. You just sound so sophisticated. And
sounded like my grandmother there.
There you go, right?
She's from the Bronx.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of funny because she thought I was actually from New York, and when we're in the restaurant, I'm doing my regular voice, and she's just like, just totally surprised by it. I guess it was a great compliment. So, but that was a fun play. It was a blast to do that play. I did a play where I played. It was written by a guy here in Toronto. Great playwright. He's written scripts. He's written books, and the rest of it. Where I play. It was based on what were they called? The women that worked in the armories and building planes and the rest of it in World War II.
Shit, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Rosie the Riveter, based on those characters, right?
Okay.
And I played Sal Leone, kind of a sleazy magazine owner who's trying to exploit, these workers and make a big story out of it and stuff like that. And that was a fun role too. And I got to keep my mustache for that. Which, my daughter
a mustache came in handy, man.
It did. My daughter hates it, but I said, you know what? I got to grow it. I'm doing a play, so I got to grow it. I'm doing this movie. I got to, And she's just like, oh, why? And it's just like, hey, it's for the art. I'm doing it for the art.
That one cheese, you had the mustache in the cheese commercial too, didn't you? Or was that gone by then?
I had the beard for the cheese commercial.
Oh, okay. I remember.
Let me tell you something about. You're gonna have to edit this. This is going on way too long, but
nah, man, it's fine. We're gonna roll with it.
Yeah.
That cheese commercial. I got a call one day. Some guy had seen I don't know if you've seen my IMDb profile. No, somebody referred him to me. Great guy. We've built this friendship over the last couple of years. But he called me and says, I'm doing this commercial. It's for Tele Latino Network, which is basically Italians and Spanish people and from around the. I didn't realize it was from around the world. They subscribe to it. Apparently, it has 50 million subscribers around the world, which I didn't know at the time. So it says, I'm doing this commercial for this cheese company. Would you want to do it? I need an hour of your time. I said, sure. He says, what's your rate? I said, an hour? And I gave him a rate. And it was not a high price. Right. And I knew he didn't have a great budget for it. So we get in there. Oh, and I said to him, listen, would you pay for a tuxedo rental? Because I want to look like a conductor.
Yeah.
I don't have, because he says, oh, do you get a suit? I said, listen, would you pay for a tuxedo rental? I'm giving you a cut rate on me, so maybe throw a little extra into tuxedo run. So I found this tuxedo, found this great rental house, got the tuxedo, showed up. Sure enough, it was an hour of my time.
Oh, shit.
And that included putting on the tuxedo and taking it off.
Damn.
The guy is so good. Like, he knew what he wanted, and he got it. He got it in, like, in less than an hour. So he says, thanks, I'll send you your money. Just send me an invoice. Oh, and do you want some cheese? He sent me home with boxes of cheese.
You want some cheese with that wine?
Exactly. And some of the cheese were like these expensive, like imported cheeses that are aged for like, I don't know, centuries or something. I know obviously not centuries, but and I'm sure the cheese I took home was probably worth more than what he paid me.
I'm telling you, man, like I've never had a commercial make me want a piece of cheese more.
That's
Right.
cheese of Steve
You
Urkel.
know what I mean? I wanted some of that cheese. I knew I was never going to get it here in America unless I was lucky.
Well, when I come to visit you, I'll bring some, and I won't tell them I'm bringing it because I don't think you're allowed to.
That'd be wonderful. I don't want you to get in trouble bringing it across the border, you know.
But what's funny is, so the commercial airs, and my family's not seen anything I do, like, you know, cousins and aunts and uncles. They know I do it, but, you know, I haven't done anything big or you know, something that's, you know, regular series or you know, big blockbuster movie. So he cuts the commercial. He sends me a copy. It's like, great, it looks great, it's funny, the rest of it. Within a week, I'm getting calls from family members I haven't heard from in like, I don't know how long, right? I saw this commercial, you were great, and stuff like that. Which is great, right? It's a great compliment. And I still get calls. A friend of mine texted me the other day. He says, oh, my mother says hi. She saw your commercial again.
Oh, yeah.
It's been running for 3 years. I'm a non-union actor. If that was a big casting house that was casting that, I would have probably gotten paid anywhere from $500 to $1,500, maybe even $3,000 for just showing up that day.
And that's the difference between being a union actor and a regular actor, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I would have gotten residuals, right? I would have gotten a buyout for every year that commercial played. So maybe $3,000 every year.
Oh, man, damn.
But you know what? It wasn't about the money. I built this great friendship with this director. We did another commercial for Tele Latino Network last year. And he's always... he's called me a couple of times and I haven't been able to do stuff. He's just great about bringing me on to do stuff. He knows I can do the job. He knows it'll be an easy day. And it's great. We're supposed to go golfing soon. We've been talking about golfing forever, but it's almost the end of the season.
That's the golf cart I want to be on with all that cheese and beer, man.
Yeah.
Some good Canadian beer. You know, you guys have to have some pretty good beer probably, right?
And I did a beer commercial, too, for a brewery.
Why wouldn't you?
What's funny is the cinematographer that did the beer commercial was a cinematographer I hired for a film I produced that's in post-production now. So I said, hey, I'm doing this beer commercial. Would you want to be in it? I said, sure. So, again, not paying very much and the rest of it. But the beer was great. I got paid, got to take home a case of beer. And it was just a lot of fun. And I worked with... the actress that was in it, she played my daughter in that Spider-Man film. The cinematographer, the director of photography, we did that short film together that we're editing now. And it's just, again, a great experience. And it was great beer. So
I was getting ready to ask, what kind of beer was it?
It's called Nickelbrook, the brewing company.
Nickelbrook.
And actually, they actually have a beer called Naughty Neighbor, and it's got it's got an American eagle on it, kind of like a animated character of an American eagle, and
Cool.
stars and stripes and stuff. And it's kind of, I think it's based on, I could be wrong, but like on a Samuel Adams type beer.
Yeah.
So they called it Naughty Neighbor because it's based on an American, on a type of American brewed beer, and it's an amazing beer. So they got
really
IPAs,
good, yeah.
they got.
I like IPAs myself.
Yeah, so and they make a root beer too, and the root beer was great. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, you know what? I don't care what it is. If it's playing a character, if it's being funny, being dramatic, being angry, whatever. It's just like, if I'm working with some good people, I don't care. I'll do it. It's every time I get to practice doing something. Like I played a character in the beer commercial. I played, a know-it-all sort of thing. In the cheese commercial, I played a conductor.
Which is priceless.
Yeah, and then in the commercial for the financial planner, I played an accountant that didn't know what he was doing. So they're all characters. I mean, it's still acting.
He was that guy was a sleepy motherfucker too. I tell you what, that character, man, he kept falling asleep, shit.
Last thing
yeah, that was great, man. When you played the accountant, like I was waiting for was there another episode I missed of that? Like another commercial?
No, I thought there was going to be a third, but there is. I read it wrong, or I misunderstood him or something. There were just the 2 episodes, which were funny.
They were,
and,
man.
Yeah. So I do that stuff, and like I said, I got a feature coming up where I'm playing a mob boss, which is a feature which we go to camera end of October, early November, and it's all overnight shoots, which should be fun.
Are you acting in that and producing or directing?
No, I'm just acting in that one.
Okay.
And I'm working with a producer that I worked with on a short film called Missing Pieces, where I play a father whose wife and daughter left him because he was a workaholic, basically, and he's dealing with all that. It's a pretty heavy film.
It's kind of like along the lines of Devil's Diary, man, where like how David's dealing with, he's trying to decipher the Devil's Diary and stuff with his job, but they had lost their kid from cancer and they're struggling with that. The family struggles of being separated by work, and it's heavy shit. Man.
It's a heavy film. So, and it's great. It's got the human element, right? It's not there to just scare people. It's there.
Right.
People will feel. I mean, people are going to see themselves in those characters in Devil's Diary. There's going to be the father watching it, going, "Yeah, I remember when, I put work before family." There's going to be, the mother, watching that, thinking, my family's so important to me, and I get where she's coming from. I think every character in Devil's Diary is just so relatable, and you get a scare out of it as well. So that's a plus.
Like there's a scene in the Devil's Diary, like, and I hope you're still cool with it, because like at one point when David has been, possessed or whatever, and it's full on possession, his daughter's, hiding in the house and the lightning's crashing, and it's like they're in this hallway where he's there and he's not there and he's there and he's not there, but he's in his underwear. And I think that makes it even creepier,
Yeah, I ain't pretty in my underwear, so get the barf bags out, right?
But don't have to be pretty, man. But like, remember, just for example, like remember in Sixth Sense, was that Donnie Wahlberg? That was
Isn't
like
that crazy.
Yeah,
the kid on the block playing that character. It was awesome,
right? Right? Like who would have even thought that was Donnie Wahlberg?
I didn't even know until I saw the credits.
Right? Blew my mind, man. Like, but that's such a great movie, and that scene was so powerful and creepy.
Yeah, he was great in that. I mean, he's gone on to do Blue Bloods and stuff. I'd like to see him do more of that stuff. I think he'd be great at it.
You mentioned Tony Napo earlier, man. Like Tony, he had a funny post a while back where he was talking about, I guess he was walking his dog or something, and he ended up having to like tighten some guy up. You know, some guy was being an asshole or something. Tony had to tighten him up. Did you see that post?
Yeah, some guy was trying to steal a dog from a dog park.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Tony doesn't put up with any bullshit. I mean, if he sees a wrong, he's gonna try and right it. And man, good on him.
I'd love to get him on here eventually too, man. He seems so cool.
He's a cool. We've been trying to get together for dinner forever, and I messaged him actually today, and because he referred me to a role that he couldn't do. It was also non-union role, and he's union, and I still got to thank him for it. I ended up doing it. I ended up getting it, and he posted a picture. He's doing a movie with Richard Gere right now.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, so he's busy. He said he's busy for a few weeks. He doesn't say what he's on, but he posted a picture of Richard Gere, so I guess it's something
going on.
Something Hollywood.
Yeah.
So good for him.
That's awesome, man. I tell you, Peter, man, I can't appreciate you more for being on here. Andy, what was your question you had here earlier, brother?
My question was, do you know who Michael Wahlberg is? Have you ever met him?
Yeah, he's a Wahlberg brother that has isn't he the one that has Wahlburgers, the restaurant?
No, the director, Michael Wahlberg.
It's probably the same guy, dude.
Okay. Oh, Mark Wahlberg. So
yes.
Yeah. So Donnie's brother. Yeah, the guy who did Transformers. He did
Marky Mark, man.
Marky Mark.
Yeah, Mark.
I just watched that Father Stew.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Ted. Those are great movies.
And he had to put on 30 pounds for that movie.
That Father Stew,
you know how much
yeah.
of a fitness buff he is, right? I'm sure he did not like putting on the 30 pounds for that.
That's what I was going to ask.
Because he was in shape at the beginning of the movie, but towards the end of the movie, he was.
I think the biggest body transformation though here recently was probably Brendan Fraser, though, right?
And that played at TIFF. That played at Toronto International Film Festival. I think it played at Venice beforehand.
The one, The Whale.
It wasn't a premiere, but Whale, which is based on a true story, which is the guy that wrote it. I think it was a play originally. I could be wrong, but he just got so depressed he just kept eating.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah, and so it played here at Toronto International Film Festival. Brendan Fraser, I mean, wow, I'm glad he's making a comeback. I remember him from George of the Jungle and Encino Man and all that sort of stuff.
The Mummy.
So
I like the Doom Squad or what?
Yeah, Doom Squad. Yeah,
was it Doom Squad.
Doom Squad was awesome.
Yeah, Chad turned me on to Doom Squad, man. I thought I was gonna watch this shit with my kids, and because it's what DC characters, is that right?
DC Comics.
So like we start watching this, Peter, and like all of a sudden, next thing I know, Brendan Fraser's like behind some girl, like banging her. And like boobs out and everything. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I couldn't turn it off fast enough.
Just like, okay, kids, bedtime.
Yeah. I watched the rest of it. But
Doom Patrol is what it is.
Doom Patrol, yeah. Chad didn't warn me enough. He didn't give me enough fair warning.
I just told you it was a good show.
Yeah, it was great.
It's a good superhero.
I thought, superheroes, cool. All right, kids, here we go.
Next time, Chad, give him the 14 plus or 17.
Really, man? I mean, come on.
The 411 on the
right. The 411 on that 14 MA or 17 MA or whatever it is. Yeah. Show me some love, Christ.
Wow.
Oh man, that's funny.
You guys got any more questions for Peter, man?
I got one. Well, it's kind of a two-part question. Have you ever seen the movie Goon with Stifler, Sean William Scott?
Yep.
And what's your favorite hockey team?
I did see Goon. I saw both of them. There's a Goon 2.
Yeah, and, I saw Goon 2. Too.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Or I saw Goon 2 also.
Yeah. The writer is Jay Bacchanal, who...
I always butcher his name.
Yeah, I'm sure I pronounced it wrong, but...
you probably did it right. I would have said Barathol, maybe I thought it was, but I have no idea.
Well, I have no idea. I mean, I'm going to look up later and go, I was so off. But yeah, I really like that. And it's funny. There's an actor I know. He does a lot of background stuff, but he'll do some principal stuff or talking stuff. But he grew up in Northern Ontario, where you either play hockey